Good morning all. Today I welcome you all on our e-learning online platform for on behalf of GS College of Commerce, Wardha for BCCA 3rd SEM, and the subject is Business Economics. Since last 2-3 months we are going through with our online classes and we are completing our syllabus online only, and at the same time we are taking doubt clearing sessions also. But the doubt clearing session for business economics which we have taken on Monday, so I do not have any doubts from your side. Okay, it means either you people, you are not going through with the videos, you are not reading the notes which are provided to you on the groups, either you are not understanding. Okay, but now, as you all, rather you must aware that any time the exams can be conducted, and this time exams will not be in the MCQ forms. Okay, you have to go through with the study notes, the YouTube, you have to listen the YouTube videos regularly, then only you can cope up with this economics. See, again and again I am giving you the detailed notes, okay, and I am guiding you regarding the subject, and consistently I am telling you that this is a very deep theoretical subject and your syllabus is vast. Okay, unless and until you read the notes, once you read you will not understand. Second time, third time, as you go on reading, your concepts will be clear. But if you do not start your studies and asking silly questions in the doubt session, you will put yourself into loss. Okay, I am not responsible for that. Then don't say that teacher is not giving or we are not getting the proper guidance from the college. Once again, a strict warning to you that you must go through the videos in detail. In the next session, get ready with your doubts, so that, and if you are not asking the doubts, the session will be completed within 10 to 15 minutes because there are no doubts from your side. Anyways, why I am giving you all these, or why the college has taken the initiative for this kind of education? Because it is not possible for us to go for regular online teaching, the classroom teaching, and this is the facility which our college has given you. As compared to other colleges, means I don't think all of the teachers have completed so much. We have finished unit 1, unit 2, or even now we are on the verge of finishing our unit 3. So be serious, okay, start doing your studies and be attentive in the, no, I cannot say in the class, but listen the videos carefully. Now coming to this theory of production and theory of cost. Okay, what we have done in this, what we have gone through with, we have completed, we have seen rather what is production, what is production function, what are the different laws, okay, what are the two essential factors, that is time period and the scale of the production. These are the two important factors which are considered in production theory. Okay, whereas it is decided by the producer, the decision has been taken by the producer whether he is going for a large scale operations, large scale business plant, or a small scale business unit, which kind of business he is opening, and accordingly he is doing his production activity. Now again, now this is a time where we are on the very last part of the syllabus. Earlier we have seen what is law of variable proportion, what is law of returns to scale. Okay, and these are again, yesterday also I have told you, these all are connected parts. It is not that once you finish and it will be completed, but all the things are correlated with the earlier topic. If you know what is production, then you can understand production function. If you understand production function, then you will completely, you will be able to understand what are the laws of production, that is law of variable proportion and law of returns to scale. Now what are the features? In short, we will see in short run, means the producer can make changes in only one factor of input. And what is input? Input is factor of production, that is land, labor and capital, where he can vary, he can change the proportion of any one factor in case of short run. In case of law of variable proportion. The name itself says variable proportion, means which input can be varied, which proportion can be changed, and generally it is found, it is observed that the labor input is changed, means the number of labors are changed. Okay, that is what is related for the law of variable proportion. And in case of law of returns to scale, generally it is advisable for the producers that they should start their activity for a long run period. In what is the advantage of long run period? Ultimately, what is the advantage of law of returns to scale? There the producer can change all input factor, means he can make the variable proportions, he can vary, he can change the proportion of land, labor and capital. It means again there are two internal factors which he can change. He can change the plant size, okay, he can change the plant size, and he can accordingly change only the thing which is not changed, that is technology. Okay, the technology which he has adopted to complete his production activity, that cannot be only changed, but all the input factors of production may be changed. That is what the main feature of law of returns to scale. So whatever the returns he is getting after implementing that law, that is law of returns to scale. Okay, where we have seen the three stages: first stage, second stage, third stage. First stage increasing, second is constant, and third is decreasing. So first stage is always preferable from producer's point of view, where we have seen the diagram of that also. And now here today what we are covering, these are the curves. What we are looking for? After theory of production, we have started cost or costing. What is costing? What are the different costs? Fixed cost, variable cost, average fixed cost, average variable cost, implied cost, explicit cost, then opportunity cost, etc., etc. We have seen that costing part, and this is somehow related to the costing, and this is the last part. Now short run average cost curve and long run average cost curve. So short run average cost curve is also denoted with SAC, that is short run average cost curve, and here long run average cost curve, it is denoted with LAC curve, and this is with SAC curve. Now as we have seen the costing, means how the cost is calculated, then that cost is fixed cost. What is fixed cost? What is variable cost? All we have seen. Then what is average fixed cost, average variable cost, correct? Now considering that, and you need to understand 2-3 points if you keep in your mind, that plant size can be changed in the long run and plant size cannot be changed in the short run. It means if the producer is starting his business activity at a large scale, so when large scale is implicated, it means the activity is for the longer run. Okay, long run period means the duration of the production activity is big or a long, whereas in short run, okay, only one variable factor, only one input factor can be changed. He can make the variations in one input factor, and the plant size cannot be changed. So short run average cost curve and long run average cost curve, again the time factor, the duration is considered. So short run average cost curve is applicable in short run period of production. Again the same thing is given here. These are the features of this curve. Then second, if the firm desires to produce any particular output level, it would build corresponding plant and operate on plants at short run average cost curve. Means to come or to summarize the long run average cost curve, the short run average cost curve. It means what this particular diagram denotes? This on OX curve, on OX axis output is written, and on OY axis average cost curve is written. Now here you will find that the shape is like envelope. Okay, and that is why the long run average cost curve is referred as a envelope curve or short run average cost curve. Now how this envelope is ultimately it is drawn, how the envelope, now it is referred as envelope curves or short run. So in the long run the producer have a facility, rather he can change the plant sizes. So envelope curve is known as long run average cost curve, and on this cost curve these are the plant sizes. This is short run average cost curve, short run average cost curve 2, 3, 4, 5. sorry, here it should be 4, 5, 6 means, and these are what is, this is nothing but plant sizes. The plant sizes the producer can change. It means once the plant he has constructed, okay, he can demolish the plant and again he can reconstruct the plant. That is what is exactly, these are the different plant sizes, and this long run average cost means the long run average cost curve can be drawn with the help of this short run average cost curve. That you have to remember. Now see, what is long run average cost curve? The long run average cost curve is also known as, or is referred as, a envelope curve, and this envelope is drawn, or rather this envelope is the result of different short run cost curve. Okay, short run average cost curve, ये combination है किसका, short run average cost curve और long run. So when you will be able to draw the long run average cost curve, when you have this short, and these are nothing but the different plant sizes. So long run average cost curve is also known as group of short run average cost. It is a group or a combination. Then long run average cost curve is also called as planning curve. Why it is called a planning curve? Because it denotes least unit cost of producing each level of output. See, the short run, okay, if a producer has opened his business activity with a small scale, that small scale operation can get converted into long run large scale output. Okay, so small scale is a part of large scale. Okay, here we can call it as we have seen, short run is a period, long run is a period, small scale means the business activity which is started with a small unit, means the limited number of laborers, the limited square feet of a land is used or limited capital is used. But whereas if a producer is opening a large scale unit and that large scale unit is already involved in small scale, means if a producer wants to open his business activity for a longer period, means for a large scale business unit, so that small scale is a part of large scale. So here it is said long run average cost curve is also known as group of short run average cost curves. LAC is also called as planning curve because it denotes the least unit cost of producing each level of output. If you go through with the other notes which are available with you, then it is quite difficult. You just understand the basic concept of these curves so that you can attempt the question related to the same in the exam. But before that, this is the curve for a long run average cost curve. Now here we have completely taken all the points considered to unit 3, and whatever we might have missed, that we will cover, and in the next lecture I will go through with the syllabus if anything has been left, and if it is left then I will include that and we will finish our unit 3. But before that, before we go ahead, it is up to you that read the notes carefully, go through with the YouTube videos and come with your doubts in the doubt clearing session so that it is easy for you. Whatever the topics are not clear to you, are not understood, you can ask the questions on those topics. By the time, stay safe. Thank you.